Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Wednesday the 8th of July. Starting looking at the euro-dollar. In fact, before I do that, news-wise, there is absolutely nothing apart from the crude oil inventories later on. So got quite a quiet day today. Those inventories may create some volatility around oil. Last time we saw the numbers minus 3.2 million, so a negative figure would be appreciated there. Sorry, last time it was minus 7.2, beg your pardon. Expected to come in at minus 3.2 this time. So those sort of figures may help push oil up a little bit if they continue being negative, and if they're a reasonable size, anything more negative would be much better for the price of oil. Anyway, aside of that then, nothing except, of course, US companies are starting to report, and so we're getting properly into earnings season even, and this will be the real tester for the S&Ps, I'm sure. But we've seen poor earnings come out before, and the S&P's still sitting there or rising, so don't count too much on it. Euro dollar this morning, well, yesterday inside bearish day there, really looking a bit grimmish. However, shorter term, this 4-hourly, we're seeing sort of maybe it's trying to hold up here. It's effectively in just a tighter range than it was last week. Now it was looking like we had some potential to kick on upwards. The hourly, well, lower highs originally yesterday, we haven't actually gone any lower than the low yesterday now, and as I said, it's holding up here. A break of the high side here, where we've got the daily pivot untouched above, which could be a draw in itself. We may just see this sort of move towards the upside. Any a proper break of the trend line that's coming across the highs here may see it run into the R1 and maybe even back to those sort of high areas. The 1.13 area, though, a key sort of zone, as you could see yesterday afternoon, just could not break and close above this area. So it's possibly asking a bit, but if the momentum can get behind it, we'll push on up there. I haven't really got a downside too much on the euro at the moment. I'm still expecting potential upside. The pound, looking from the daily perspective, well, it outperformed yesterday. It really outperformed yesterday and pushed up there, and it was one of the strongest currencies yesterday completely. Solid old morning, sold off a bit there in the afternoon, but not that much. And at the moment, well, it hasn't put a lower high in here. As I said, it really surprised, I should imagine, a lot of people yesterday as it rallied through to sort of midday-ish. At the moment, well, again, we're just above the daily pivot on here. It might want to come test that. If it starts testing that, it looks a bit soft. Well, that 50 could be eyed up, but really I'd prefer to wait for a break of the trend at the upside here and see if we can get another shove up there towards 25.80, 21.26 maybe, up into that region, if we can get the legs again. So that's the pound. Dollar yen, I should say, with the pound, there seems to be some sort of agreement with fisheries that eventually in the Brexit talks there seems to be some sort of agreements coming through there, so that may be helping the case. With the dollar yen, well, it's still pretty going sideways here. Overall, there are some movements in it. They're relatively modest movements, but well, it moved. It gave way overnight there to the dollar. The dollar pushed up, but it's regained that last few hours. So really, it's got, again, we've got this sort of line in the sand here. Maybe that 200, it breaks below the 200, it becomes a bit more bullish against the US dollar, and may see it drop to the sort of 107.25 area eventually. But it's a tight old rangy currency at the best of times recently. Aussie dollar, the Aussie, bit disappointing. Yes, they pitched in with new high, but then rolled over. As I said in the morning yesterday, in the morning's outlook, it just sort of came short of the levels I was looking for there. It has since rolled over. This still remains over the longer period one of the stronger currencies. At the moment, looking weak. It has put lower highs in here and looking soft this morning as I record this. So currently looking soft. A reversal may give us a run back towards that daily pivot, and that may be the best we can hope for there on the Aussie for now at least. Canadian dollar. Okay, so quite a chunk up yesterday relative to what it's done recently, running back into that daily 34 as I speak, or it sits around that daily 34. At the moment, high lows, higher highs through that period point, and well, it's closed above some key moving averages here, so we could see a continuation of this movement to the upside. R1's not that far away, but is looking, as I say, higher lows, higher highs at the moment, and closure above the key moving averages may help. Aside of this daily 34, so it really needs to get a wiggle on beyond that, and then that daily 50 comes to point. Okay, Canadian dollar, that's pretty much it there. West Texas oil here, so oil's just flattened out a little bit more. It's trying its best to try and get up there. Earlier in the week it was pushing up towards the prior highs there. Yesterday afternoon had a decent move, but not enough. But it's chopping around. The figures later on may change that one way or the other. At the moment I still remain more bullish than anything on the oil. Okay, S&Ps. So S&P's down day yesterday. We've seen the Nasdaq push into new all-time highs recently. As I said, with the data coming out, earnings coming out, I think they might have a tough old time holding on to these. The S&Ps here yesterday initially found support on those prior highs there, but couldn't hang on to those, and has since sold off a little bit. Weekly pivot may be the draw to the downside there, and you can see clearly here on the 60-minute lower highs coming through. A untouched daily pivot may be an early morning draw, but at the same time it may just give a point of opportunity to sell. So if that does come up there towards that 31.51 area, may be a sell point, but at the moment there's no divergence on this time frame, and it does look like there could be some further downside. So that's pretty much it with as I say, just crude oils or inventories to watch out today, and of course the earnings season. Have a great one. Bye for now.